So I think the main thing with her is we have to watch for blockages, because with a colostomy, things can actually just get stuck because the bowel isn't moving like it should, and it's not pushing things out correctly. And so she's actually had a few where it got blocked, and she became extremely bloated and really sick, began throwing up. And so with her, I have to also do irrigations and clean out the bowels sometimes. It's kind of it's hard because most people don't like to talk about colostomy bags, poop and stuff, that's just gross. And I've had to get over it. I don't worry about it anymore. People see her bag and I go, oh yeah, that's her bag. And she's pretty comfortable. She tells everybody, oh, my bag, it's bothering me or whatever. And in our family, I think the kids still, oh, I don't want to change it because it's like changing a dirty diaper. They don't want to do it, but they're comfortable doing it now. And it's something that's just part of who she is. We don't have to hide it. It's just part of her now. And we're grateful for it because it keeps her alive. Without it, she wouldn't survive. So with her, she has a colostomy, and there's different ones. A colostomy comes from the colon, and an ileostomy comes from the ileum, and they would be on different sides. The colostomy, they take a little tiny piece of the colon and bring it to the outside, and then they stitch around it so that it holds it in place. And it just has an opening that goes right into her colon, and it always just comes out. Stool things, it just passes through her and comes out. And so to keep it from coming out all the time all over her clothes, we put down a kind of a sticky thing that has, the one we use it's a two-piece. So there's two pieces to it. The part you put down, and then it has a ring on it that is kind of like a Tupperware. And you stick that on, you cut a hole in it and stick that around it and make sure it's secured down to her skin, so it's sticking on her skin, and it just has the hole where the little piece of her colon's coming out. And then we have a separate bag that can attach onto that with the Tupperware type thing, and it just goes down. And her bags, they have all kinds of different bags. There's tons and tons of different kinds that they have. Hers is a bag that just comes down, and it has a little opening at the bottom, and you roll the bag up, and then it has almost like Velcro that closes it off. And so then any stool or anything that comes in, it just stays in the bag. And then when the bag starts to get about half full, 3/4 full, then I find it easier. We just put her on the toilet like any child, and we unroll the bag, and everything just kind of comes out. And then we clean the end off and roll it back up. That's about it. We have to make sure that the sticky part that is sticking to her skin, that's what will start to leak, because it doesn't stick very well all the time, and eventually it'll start to leak out. And so you have to change that often to make sure that that's not going to leak all over. But she does really good with them. She thinks she's potty trained because she says, it's time to go potty, and we put her on the potty and empty her bag out, and then she's good to go again. So for her, right now, because she's only 3, they still have her just draining into a diaper. When she does get older, though, they could do a urostomy, which would be the same type of thing, except that it would be an opening to her bladder, and then the urine would go in. They have different bags for the urine ones, because obviously urine is more liquid, and so it closes off better, and they have valves that'll open and close. She may have one of those when she gets older, or with her, they may end up just closing the bladder off so that her bladder will actually hold the urine like a bag, and then they'll create a separate opening that she would then catheterize into to allow the urine to come out. Skin breakdown is the big thing that they watch for, because just like if you're in a diaper and you have stool sitting on your skin, it will break down and you'll get like a diaper rash. With hers, we try to cut the opening really close so that it fits closely around the bowel. And the good thing about bowel is it really doesn't have nerves or filling in it. And so it doesn't hurt her or anything. We put that on her. The skin breakdown usually happens if it starts to leak under that bag and it's sitting on her skin. And so that's why we try to change it frequently to make sure that she doesn't get that skin breakdown. And there's little tricks that you can do too, barrier things and stuff that you can put on it to help so it doesn't happen.